Hello guys, Coletto here. Um, Today my presentation is going to be a response to an article read earlier this week by Mr. A.Z. Carr titled "Is Business Bluffing Ethical?" Right? To get straight into the nit and gritty, I'm going to give a quick summary of the article from his perspective, which is a perspective that I actually genuinely agree on. So Mr. Carr argues that bluffing is in business something that is ethical, right? It's ethical practice and it's permissible because he says that business operates under its own moral code, which I see. Business is in a competitive industry and therefore can be seen as a competitive game, right? And in games, you have strategies, and in having strategies, your strategic approach could be deception, right? Which is accepted throughout games. Um, Now, speaking of business being a game, right? In the article, we have Mr. Carr who likens the world of business to the game of poker, right? A game where you play to win. Any game essentially is a game where you play to win. But he likens it to the game of poker where bluffing is something that is accepted, but not only accepted, it is standard, it's expected. And just as in poker, in poker, when we look at the game of poker, just as the person playing the game is not expected to reveal their hand to the other competitors, so is the same for business professionals, right? Business professionals are not expected to reveal their intentions and their strategies to their competitors, right? That would be putting yourself at a disadvantage when it comes to business, right? And if you see it this way, if you see business as the game of poker or a competitive game in itself, then you start to see that it has its own set of rules, just like any other game, and that can make bluffing seem as something that's not only acceptable but expected, because bluffing is expected in poker, and therefore in the game of business, it would be expected for you not to be completely honest with your competitors or anyone that's going to be a threat to your business, right? And then another reason for me would be basically seeing the realism in business, right? Business does operate under its own moral code. It is distinct or relatively distinct from personal ethics, right? Business as it being its own game has its own ethics, its own rules, its own just way of running things, right? And you see that in business professionals who are making decisions based off of profit maximization rather than your conventional morality, right? This is a pragmatic approach. Therefore, we are required to separate personal ethics from professional ethics. Okay. Also, bluffing is also not really something that is for success, but it could also be for a company's survival, right? It's a tactic that can be used for a company's survival. And Carr sees this, and he agrees with this, in saying that in some environments, when it comes to business, right, bluffing is a legitimate strategy that can be used to protect the company's interest and also to get it to a place where it is very successful, right? Right there, I have tactics are necessary. Bluffing could be a tactic, and I have the five P's. When you have tactics, it means you're prepared, and proper preparation prevents poor performance. That's something that really explains itself, right? Culturally, now bluffing is also culturally accepted. We see this in sport. In every single sport, we see tactics, and this is something that Carr notes as well, that is accepted in business, right? And if it's accepted in business, in some areas of business, then it's something that can be permissible, right? But in saying that, I still believe that a code of ethics is necessary for any company. I still believe that a customer conduct statement is necessary. Why? Reason number one being building trust, right? It's important that we build trust among our customers, our employees, and our stakeholders, right? And in doing that, we ensure that we have consistent ethical behaviors, or that's how we build the trust, right? Reason number two is legal and regulatory compliance, and having this in place is making sure that we are always in compliance with the laws, and in doing that, we are preventing a lot of legal issues. Reason number three is guiding employee behavior. I think this is very necessary, and it's very helpful because it allows our employees to make better decisions, decisions that are similar or keep them closer to the company's values and expectations. And it also reduces a lot of ambiguity when it comes to ethical dilemmas. Reason number four, protecting brand image. Right, a lot of companies that have or have committed to a positive code of ethics, basically, are basically more likely to have a positive brand image, right? And that's great. You want your company to be seen as high class company throughout everywhere in the world. Reason number five, last reason, is the long-term success, right? Having a strong code of ethics, having a strong ethics ensures the success of your company. Why? Because it creates an element of loyalty with your customers, and that's something that every company needs in order just to generate profits or just to run as a company. This is the end of my